Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got plenty of stuff to talk about. We have new pre-order bonuses for Pokémon Legends EA that have been announced. We also have some new theories regarding AZ in Pokémon Legends EA. We have a new Nintendo Switch 2 Pokémon game we could be seeing. And then we also have some rumors to go over about Pokémon Champions. Plenty of things to get into today though. If you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, new pre-order bonuses have been announced for Pokémon Legends EA. This was actually announced on Pokémon Day, I do believe, when the next trailer was kind of revealed for the upcoming Pokémon game. But this is on the Pokémon website, so pre-order bonus from the Pokémon Center for Pokémon Legends ZA. So get ready for an exclusive Pokémon Legends ZA offer. So receive a random Pokémon Sitting Cutie plush featuring Chikorita, Tepig, or Totodile with each pre-order of the Pokémon Legends ZA game from the Pokémon Center. So you can't pick which Sitting Cutie you get, but you're going to get a random one of these if you do order it off the Pokémon Center. Now, personally, I don't think you should order from the Pokémon Center because it's just one of those places that does not guarantee you that game on release day. And yeah, you might be getting a Sitting Cutie, but I think you'd be a little bit pissed if all of your friends are playing Pokémon Legends EA and you have to wait an extra couple of days for it. Another place that I definitely wouldn't recommend is ordering from Amazon. Amazon have a very, very bad track record of kind of giving you a game on the day of release. There's plenty of places to pre-order from. Again, we'll be keeping you up to date with all the pre-order bonuses when they do get announced. A lot of them will get announced when we get the release date, but this is the first official one on the Pokémon Center. Of course, pre-order from here if you want. Just remember that there is that chance that you might not get it on release day. And I mean, you have that chance wherever you order from if you don't do it digitally. But yeah, Pokémon Center is not as good as like other places, but you get a free Sitting Cutie, so it is up to you if you want to go this way. But anyway, wanted to go over that. The next thing that I wanted to talk about today is AZ. So they've got a really good post here from Soul Silverrock kind of talking about AZ, how his kind of presence in the game is going to alter things and stuff, and how old even is he in the game? You know, does it take place present day? Does it take place in the future? This dude is immortal, so it could really be at any time point. You know, he could be like 4,000 years old in this game. Again, very unlikely because the city itself doesn't look crazy futuristic, but that's just something that could be the case. You know, he's going to stay alive whilst everyone else passes on. But either way, Soul Silverrock here tweeting out saying, since Pokemon Legends EA was announced last year, I've been a believer that AZ and his Floette would be part of the game and that we'd be able to finally obtain his Floette. To me, there's only 3 ways that this could happen. So a popular fan theory / already is that AZ will kind of pass away somehow. Last night I asked about why he would need a cane because maybe his immortality is wearing off. So in this game, he does have a cane, and obviously a cane is something you need when, you know, not being able to walk as freely as you could, and, you know, maybe you have some like medical issues or something like that. So he's clearly like feeling the effects of aging, even though he is immortal. So maybe his kind of immortality is wearing off. Maybe something has happened to him. It says, I particularly like the theory below that says when Floette forgave him at the end of Pokemon X and Y, he lost his immortality and has been aging ever since, which could be 12 years ago. But I don't know how factually sound that is. So maybe he just passes peacefully, finally, after living 3,000 years, and passes on his Floette to us due to our friendship. Because we're obviously going to be quite chummy with AZ because we are using his hotel to stay at and stuff like that, and I assume he's going to give us loads of missions, loads of side quests, and within those missions he obviously befriends us quite a lot because we're helping him out a decent amount. So maybe, yeah, at the end of the game he does pass away and he gives us the Eternal Floette as like a reward, or not even a reward, just as someone that's going to look after it and stuff. He then says the other option is something happens in the plot of ZA, where this time he sacrifices himself to save the world, which would be so poetic and powerful, and tells Floette to take care of us or for us to take care of her. This would wrap up the story in a great way, but also a bit too final for a Pokemon game. So maybe we see him, you know, pass away. He may seemingly pass away, but maybe he's just separated from us and his Floette for the foreseeable future. Then maybe he pops up in Masters or something. So this is the theory from Osmio, basically saying, I saw a tweet earlier today, didn't save it, sorry, that said of being forgiven by Floette, he regained his humanity, thus making him mortal again. In my opinion, 12 years since XY, he has aged a lot like a normal human, hence the cane and knee brace, and will pass away at the end of ZA. like, he does look older. Like, you can clearly see that he has aged a bit. So I do really like that theory that, you know, his immortality is worn off now. He's kind of been forgiven by Floette, and he is aging like a regular human would, and then that would allow him to obviously pass away at the end of the game, and then for us to obtain Floette, because there's no way we can get this Eternal Floette because it's his. Like, he's not going to give it us. Just like if we do a great job in a mission, he's not like, yeah, take my most precious Pokemon. Like, he's not going to do that. Something has to happen to him in order for us to get Eternal Floette. Maybe it's just something we never get, and it's just something in the game that is just there in the background, and it's a Pokemon that exists but not for us. Again, another way would be he passes away and maybe we get it that way. Another way is just simply an early purchase bonus. Again, I've spoken about that quite a lot, and that's just a way for us to get it without affecting the story, because if we get it that way, then nothing has to happen to AZ. He can keep his Floette and everything's happy and everything's dandy. But that's just multiple ways that we could get this Eternal Floette in Pokemon Legends ZA. But yeah, in regards to AZ and the aging, I think it's going to be sad, man. It's going to be sad to see him go, but he looks a lot happier now. You know, he's got his own business. He's got his Eternal Floette, so, you know, maybe he can go peacefully. But what are your thoughts on AZ? Do you think that he is going to pass away in this game, or do you think, you know, he's just, because of his height, he needs the cane? I don't know. I mean, he didn't need it in the X and Y games, so I don't know why he would randomly need it now, but let me know your thoughts on it. And then also, I wanted to go over this today. Now, this wasn't announced in the Pokemon Presents, obviously, but this could get announced in an April Nintendo Direct. Again, I don't know how unlikely it is, or how likely it is, should I say, but it is something that could happen. So, why one Pokemon spin-off series deserves new life on the Nintendo Switch 2. So this was posted on Game Rant. So Nintendo is well known for a number of franchises, with one of the biggest being Pokemon. So in this time, since its inception, it has become popular throughout the world, spanning many generations of games and continuing to grow as the years go on. Nintendo next console, the Nintendo Switch 2, will likely have a new mainline title, as many expect it to, which we still technically don't have. We don't have a mainline Switch 2 title for Pokemon yet. Like, Legends EA is going to be playable on it, but it's not a mainline exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 title. Neither is Champions either. So that kind of window of something that's just exclusive to the Switch 2 that's Pokemon, that's still up for grabs. And it says, while that sounds great, it also means that the same established formula with maybe a few unique features here and there will be followed, with even the most dedicated fans can get tired of. As such, Nintendo should consider taking things in another direction and keep up its experimentation. And there's a perfect opportunity for the Switch 2 to revive a Pokemon spin-off series that has been that we haven't seen in quite some time. So a good reason why the Pokemon franchise is so successful is that it has dipped its hands into genres other than monster capturing, expanding its reach to an ever wider audience. The spin-off titles have experienced mixed receptions, as some become widely known while others faded to obscurity. One in particular didn't do commercially well compared to the mainline entries, but was still unique enough in its gameplay that it spawned 2 extra titles and dedicated supporters asking for an eventual revival. This sub-series is called Pokémon Ranger, and its presence on the Nintendo DS meant a new way to play, with the games incorporating the stylus to capture or tame the franchise's monsters. The last entry in the series dropped in 2010, and the sub-series has yet to be revisited by Nintendo, something the Switch 2 can and should change, given how well Ranger's distinct gameplay could work on the console. So 15 years ago was the last time we got a Pokémon Ranger game. So, while a new Pokémon Ranger title could logically make its way onto the Switch 2, one would wonder why the series should even be provided such an opportunity. However, there are a few valid reasons why it would be a sensible idea for Nintendo to pursue. So the Nintendo Switch 2's potential Joy-Con mouse functionality could see the feature acting as a replacement for the stylus used in Pokémon Ranger's typical gameplay. So if you haven't played Ranger before, you basically have your stylus, you kind of draw around the Pokemon, and then when you've done so many, you capture it, and then you use it for like situations in the game. We don't have that on the Switch, obviously, but with the Switch 2, we now have a mouse sort of functionality for the Joy-Con, and that would allow you to kind of, it's just, I guess, a reimagined version of the stylus being able to circle Pokemon. It's also the 15th anniversary, like I say, since the last time we got a Pokemon Ranger game, and as well as that, they are going to want to utilize this new feature for the Nintendo Switch 2. They're going to want to bring games out that you have to use this new feature, and Pokemon, one of the biggest Nintendo selling games, it just kind of goes hand in hand together. The Switch 2's touchscreen features may mean the game can still be played similarly to the DS iterations, as long as Nintendo prepares peripherals that prevent scratches or damage, and then the motion controls would allow for more creative opportunities to add additional mechanics and features. So it says, given the points above, it's clear that the Nintendo Switch 2 would be perfect home for a title like Pokémon Ranger. Hopefully, Nintendo sees that it's worth trying. Its newbies and veteran fans of the Pokemon franchise would likely look forward to playing something a bit more unique. The Nintendo Switch 2 looks to be facing a busy 2025, and plans involving new Pokemon games on the console may have contributed to that. If a new Pokemon Ranger title is being developed, then Nintendo will have to do something to make it more appealing to fans, especially to series newcomers. While the potential mouse function of the touchscreen can easily be used to port the circle and symbol making involved gameplay, it will need to do more than that. One potential idea is to use the console's motion controls to incorporate in-game movement gestures that can expand the capturing and taming process. This helps make the gameplay more complex, but still easily doable while trying something new, potentially attracting people into trying it. So yeah, Pokemon's potential plans for the Switch 2 could create a perfect storm for the Pokemon Ranger series, as the console's features mesh perfectly with Ranger's gameplay formula. It's an opportunity that Nintendo should consider, and yet it's another way of expanding the franchise to another market outside its mainline titles. So I think it's definitely a shout. I mean, again, with the Switch, we got Pokémon Tournament, which was a spin-off, and that was exclusive to the Switch 1. So maybe they do want a Switch 2 exclusive game. Again, you're probably wondering, well, why wouldn't they have just announced that in the Pokemon Day Presents? Well, they couldn't, because they still haven't shown us the functionality of the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons. Like, they've kind of given us a glimpse of it in the trailer, but they haven't showed us what it does. Like, Pokemon aren't going to announce anything for the Switch 2 until after that April Direct, or during that April Direct. Like, apparently there's going to be an enhanced version for Legends EA. They can't talk about that until the Switch 2 has had its Direct. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just think that it's definitely a game that could utilize this new feature, which of course is what Nintendo want. So there's that I wanted to go over. And then also finishing things off today's video, we have some more Champions rumors. Again, this was posted on 4chan, so take it with a massive grain of salt. But Pokemon Champions apparently is going to have all of this. So 40 rotating rental Pokemon each season. So I assume that's on top of the Pokemon that you transfer into the game. You also can have 40 rental Pokemon that you can use in teams for free, a little bit like the rental Pokemon in Pokemon Unite. You can obviously just use those, and then after that season ends, you get another 40, and then just to give you kind of like ideas on different Pokemon to build and stuff like that. It says every other Pokemon you want to bring in needs to be connected to Pokemon Home. So yeah, I mean, that just kind of makes sense. They're coming in from Pokemon Home and all sorts. Cosmetics are heavily monetized, Pokemon or not, which I'm absolutely fine with if you want to monetize the game. I mean, this might be a paid game anyway, but if you want to monetize the game, that's absolutely fine, as long as it's just character customization. Do not monetize the Pokemon, make all of them free and available to use, and then you're not going to have any issues. And then people can spend money if they want to on what their character looks like. They don't have to spend money on using specific Pokemon. Customizable cosmetics include your trainer, your home stadium, Pokeball effects, and costumes for Pokemon. Again, that's absolutely fine for cosmetics and monetary kind of purchases and stuff. It says Pokemon Home is also getting a major overhaul prior to release. Most of Champions' income is expected to be through Pokemon Home subscriptions. The only thing I'm worried about is if they do kind of link this with Pokemon Home like a ton, then maybe they're going to increase the price of Pokemon Home, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate. And it says, animations look incredible, and are probably why the game won't launch with every Pokemon available to use. So yeah, if you weren't aware, Pokemon Champions is not going to have every Pokemon in the game when it comes out. They are adding more further down the line. We just don't know if every single Pokemon is going to be available at some point in the future. It says battle gimmicks are also rotated each season in the main ranked mode, but there's also various open modes. So yeah, if you weren't aware, there is also a ranked mode coming to Pokemon Champions. I think we covered it in a video recently. But yeah, there's a few more kind of bits of information that kind of popped up regarding Pokemon Champions from the Japanese website. And then it says tournaments with monetary rewards, definitely going to be the new home for the competitive scene, which, I mean, I'd expect that because they are making it accessible through not just the Nintendo Switch, but through Pokemon Home as well. It's going to be through Nintendo Switch 2. So you're going to be able to play, like, you don't need a Nintendo console to be able to play this game. You can just play it on your phone, and everybody has a phone. So Champions are probably going to do very, very well in terms of they've kind of done the best of both worlds. They've done mobile games, which they know do well. Like look at Pokemon Go, look at Masters, look at Pocket. Like that's doing really, really well for the Pokemon franchise. And then it also incorporates main series into it as well. So if you're a fan of battling, it just kind of brings the two worlds together in a very good way. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a massive competitive player, so it's not something that really kind of speaks out to me, but I know if you're a competitive player, you must be very, very excited about Champions. I think the only people that aren't excited about Champions are the people that like hack Pokemon and stuff, because I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more kind of I guess security things that are going to be put in place to stop people from hacking the game and, you know, modifying the game and stuff like that. It says Champions is being future-proofed as the home for traditional Pokemon battles long, long, long into the future, which is another reason why people think that real-time battling could be staying in the main series game. Maybe Generation 10 is open world and real-time battling. Maybe it takes something from Gen 9 being the open world, it takes the real-time battling from Legends EA, puts them together, and that's Generation 10. And then if you want your old battling turn-based Pokemon experience, you just use Pokemon Champions. And I don't know if that would upset a lot of people. I mean, if you don't like real-time battling, then I guess. But, well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. There's easily multiple ways they could go here. I mean, the perfect way would be to be able to switch between real-time and turn-based in Generation 10. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're just going to go full steam ahead into one of the options, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on this Pokemon Champions rumor, though. Would you like to see Pokemon Ranger on the Nintendo Switch 2? And then what are your thoughts on AZ and also the pre-order bonuses for Pokemon Legends EA as well? Thank you for watching, though. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Again, really helps out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.